Hello and welcome to the podcast. And today we have Efe Ohwofasa with us, an expert in preparing and maximizing for successful public speaking, keynote speaking, etc. Efe, welcome.
Thank you, Martin.
Always great to have you along. So what's on your mind? What can you show people? What can you tell people about preparing for keynote speaking, etc.?
Yeah, thank you, Martin, for that good question. One of the things I'm going to realize in speaking, one of the secrets to becoming an effective, influential speaker, one of the attributes is preparation, and preparation is very key. And one of the mistakes a lot of speakers who want to use speaking to build their brand, grow their business, and grow their influence is that they just think that just going to an event, showing up, and thinking to make a maximum impact we had the nerve. So there is a bits and pieces of things one have to do in preparation before the actual event, before the actual day of speaking. One of the things is that you want to understand what is the theme of the event you are being asked to come and speak on. What is the theme? What is the topic? What is the subject? Is it an area where you have an expertise in? If yes, that's the first thing you need to do. Secondly, you want to do a little bit of research from the meeting planner or for whoever invited you to speak at this event. You want to ask them some information, questions to get some information. What are they trying to achieve? Invite you to speak. What is the message they want you to convey to them? You want to ask them who are the people coming to the event. You want to find out how long will you be speaking for? Are you the first speaker? Are you the second speaker? Are you the last speaker? You want to find out who else is speaking at the event. So when you have all this background information, it helps you to prepare and customize your presentation or your speech that will help the meeting planner and be relevant to the audience as well. And also when you're preparing as well, you want to ask yourself, what is it can I talk about that will be relevant to this audience? So you get the answer from that, from the team. And you want to ask yourself, what are the desires? What are the struggles? What are the challenge of the audience? What is it can I speak about that will be relevant to them? You really want to nail down those information down. Then you customize your preparation or your speech to meet those needs. And when you go there, then you're going to deliver. So this is just a little bit of a background information regarding that.
You mentioned the key elements there. I was going to ask you the key elements, and you've covered them nicely. So are there any mindset shifts that can help someone become a more confident speaker? So they've done all the preparation and they're walking out on stage. They're going to get nervous, uneasy. How can they deal with that? Because it makes a big difference to the outcome of your speech.
Yeah, first of all, you have to believe in your ability. You have to believe that, yes, you're going to deliver a good talk, a good presentation. You have to believe in that. And then that belief is what's prompted you to go and prepare and practice. And for you to overcome the nervousness is every presentation, every keynote or talk you're going to give, there are structures to it. So there are structures that will help you to become confident on the stage. One of the things is that you have to prepare and plan what is it you're going to do or say right from the beginning of your talk that you can use to get the attention of the audience is very key. So you practice that, you prepare that, and you're ready before the actual event. So preparation, it could be, you ask yourself, what can I say? What story can I tell? What antidote can I give at the very beginning of my presentation? Or what story do I have that I can tell within a period of 2 to 3 minutes that are relevant to this audience? You want to really decide what you're going to say or do or demonstrate right from the very beginning of your presentation to get the attention of the audience. That you practice that very well. That you go on stage and you deliver that. Now, after you do that, then the other thing is that you want to get on and move from the beginning to build rapport with the audience. And how do you build rapport with the audience? You want to maintain a good, positive body language with the audience. You want to maintain a good eye contact with the audience. You want to talk with confidence. You want to express your boldness, your professionalism to the audience And that helps you build rapport with the audience.
So let's suppose I go along as a speaker, but I'm not the speaker. One of them is taken ill or can't do it, and you're suddenly at short notice brought in. Is there something that you could fall back on so you're unable to do all that research that you've just been speaking about, but you need to keep this audience engaged at short notice? Is there a technique or strategy that you would use or you would advise others to use in that situation?
It depends on the circumstances around it. If the notice is very sudden and it's not an audience you know about, and it's not your area of expertise, and you don't have enough time to prepare and practice and research to do all the things I talk about, is it one of the secrets of success in life, in business, in everything, is the ability to say no. So if you know you don't have enough time to prepare for it, just say, "Oh, I'm sorry, I can't. It's not enough for me." But it depends on you again. If you're a professional, very good at it, and you'll be doing very well, you just show up. You can even do the research within 48 hours if you know who you are as a speaker, and you follow the structure. Professional speakers have structures. I'll give you an example. A few years ago, I was invited to come and speak at an event just 2 days before. Somebody just called me up and said, "Hey, Efe, we want you to come and speak here. It's a short notice. These are the audience. Do you have the time? Does it fit into you?" And I said, "Hold on a minute, 48 hours. What is the topic?" That's the first question I asked. Who are the audience? How long am I going to speak for? What do you want me to deliver to the audience? And the response to those questions, these are things I know at the back of my hand.
Mm-hmm.
So what I did within a short period of time was, okay, Efe, what's going to be my opening statement? What's going to be a story I'm going to tell? And what 3 things I'm going to tell to drive point to my point? Because I have the structure of how to present myself, I just find those information to fit in within 48 hours. And I went and I delivered, and I was so proud, and I felt felt great about myself on that day. And it was one of the best speaking events I've ever spoken on that day. And I got clients from that stage. So when it comes to speaking, to grow your influence, to build, there are structures of what you need to do. One of the structure is have a story to tell, have an opening statement to talk about what 3 ideas can you talk to the audience, what 3 examples of whatever you're going to talk about you could give, and have an ending of what you're going to say to end up your presentation. Right? And if you know how to put those information together, and you go there on stage and you know how to connect with the audience, to engage your eyeball, your body language, and just go there and deliver, I think you could do something very useful.
It's interesting that you say you could just say no, because obviously, if you say yes at such short notice, that would weaken your authority because you're unprepared, and therefore the talk probably wouldn't be as good as it would have been had you been prepared. So I like that you can just turn around and say, "Sorry, that's it." You've got to have the power to say that, and that's good advice, as well as the positives of getting up there and doing the best talk ever.
Yeah.
So it's exciting stuff. When somebody's on stage, then one of my things I found is that you see people talking to each other, even getting up to go to the water cooler or something. How do you keep them engaged throughout your presentation? Is there something that signals to you, hang on, that they're talking amongst themselves? I've got to make this a little bit more urgent, if you like, that they're going to pay attention. Is there a technique or strategy for that?
Yes, there are a few techniques. The one that comes to mind is being able to ask question to the audience. You ask some relevant question, and you ask the question, then you wait for the audience to give you feedback. And when you ask the question, you raise your hand up and you say, "Is there anyone here who could tell me about XYZ? If you know here, raise up your hand." So asking audience questions, it gets audience to pay attention. And also, one of the techniques is when you're talking, you pause in between. When you pause, the audience will wonder what's going on. You get their attention. And also, you should know how to bounce back after you pause, what you need to say next. Again, and also telling stories, it gets people's attention as well. People wait. If you tell a very good story, you move them from the start to the middle to the end of the story. People lean towards you. They want to know what you're going to say next. That gets people to pay attention to you. And also, you don't need to be shy. You need to stand brave and bold. Stand very confident. Your body stance, and when you talk to audience, use your voice. Command the attention of the room by your voice. Know when to raise your voice, when to lower your voice, when to pause. All those little techniques, it get the attention of the audience. And I will give you an example. There was one time I was doing all this, and at some point, there were some set of people from one part of the hall. They were very distracting. So what I did, I just kept quiet for about a minute. And everybody was just looking at me. Why is it quiet? So when I got quiet, I only was focusing on that part of the room where they were distracting and making noise. So they knew something was not right. So everybody from the audience focused on there because I was looking at them. So all of a sudden, they started giggling, and I said, everybody, let's give a hand of applause to those people there. So everybody shared up, and then I got back the stage. I carried on, and I delivered a very smooth presentation. It takes guts, it takes professionalism, and take belief to be able to do that.
And of course, the more talks you do, the more confident you become at doing that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I can remember going to a talk and the guy started whispering, and you could see the audience together lean forward. And he said, and the main thing is, you should never do. And of course, we what? And it worked. And then pause. And then he suddenly came out like the Sermon on the Mountain and called out, and we all, well, and he kept doing those little techniques, and it worked. And of course, that's what we're talking about here. So how can somebody gain that confidence? Is it just doing a lot of shows, or is it doing free shows first before you prepare yourself to charge for them? What is it?
If it's a new beginner, if it's a new speaker, you're trying to gain confidence, it's just somebody can learn how to drive, they can learn how to do anything. So if you can learn how to drive, you can learn how to become a confident public speaker. So the first thing is to have a desire for it. A burning desire is, I want to be a confident, competent, professional speaker. That desire will make you become obsessed and determined to do whatever thing you need to do to perfect your skills. So the desire is the first place. Then you don't wait to be invited to speak. You create opportunity for you to speak. You go to local groups, you go to communities, you go to church, you go to Rotary clubs, you go to business events, professional network, Toastmasters, local events in a local community. It could be online and offline. You offer to speak. And when they invite you to speak, the more you speak, the more you perfect it, the more you get better at it. It's like learning how to swim. If you don't jump on the water, on the pool, you can't swim. So jump at it, look for it, and perfect your skill. Get a mentor, a coach who will coach you, that teach you the techniques that will help you to perfect your skill. And the beauty of being a professional speaker is when you master it, you never lose it again. Mm. When you master it and you're hungry, you're obsessed about it. The obsession comes from the passion. You want to go and contribute. You want to share your message. You have an inspiration you want to give out to people. You want to share some information. You want to inspire people. You want to influence people. That obsession is what gets you out to look for opportunity. And it gets to a stage whereby you don't look for opportunity to speak. They come to you because you've paid a price. So that's, do it over time, it become a brand, and it become your thing that you do for a living.
Okay, somebody's got a gig. And what are some of the best ways that speakers can leverage their talks for business growth?
When you go on stage and speak, don't just speak and walk away from the stage. Speak and make an offer to the audience. Speak to make an offer to the members. An offer is you have something, you want to invite them to come and buy from you, not because you want the money, but because you want to extend your expertise. You want to extend your gift to them. So you tell them from the stage, invite people to come and book a session with you, invite people to buy something from you, invite people to something next. That's one. The secondly, when you're on stage, you are there with people. Make an opportunity for people to invite you to other platforms. Ask the member of audience that who here would like you to come and deliver such talk to a group that they know of, or to a group they can recommend that think that will benefit from the information shared with you. You ask them from the audience, they show their raise their hand, you take the information, you get the information, and they talk about you to the audience. So you must maximize and leverage every opportunity. If you walk away without giving people an opportunity to buy from you, without asking people to invite you on that stage, you are losing a lot on the desk.
So we've looked at maximizing the speaker opportunities. Let's look at the modern trends. What's your take on virtual versus in-person speaking engagements? Which is more effective, Efe?
It depends on the individual, virtual or face-to-face. It depends on who is your audience. It depends on what you have mastered over the years. It depends on what you want to achieve. I think if it's a virtual one, you have opportunity to reach a more audience. You're not restricted by distance. You're not restricted by where you live. So if you want to pitch yourself to be promoting yourself as a speaker, want to speak virtually, fine. If it's locally or nationally, or you want to travel internationally, it's a personal choice. But it's all the same opportunity. But it's a personal choice of where you want to focus on.
Okay, let's have some closing takeaways from you, if I may. If someone wants to become a great speaker, but is just starting from scratch, what's the first step?
And the first step is you start with what you know. Most people, they say, but I don't know what to talk about. What should I talk about? I'm not good at anything. The first to talk about is about you, about your story, your expertise, your passion. What are you passionate about? What concerns do you have about the world, the community that you feel you want to correct? Talk about it. What story do you have? Do you have some struggles you've been through? Do you have some successes you've achieved? Do you have some secret passion of things you feel the world need to know about? Start with that. Then as time goes on, you will be learning a lot of things. And from there, you cannot have what I call your signature story and your signature message. For me, when I started out speaking professionally, when I came to the UK, my content was my story, how I migrated from Nigeria to the UK. Talk about the struggle I had when I was back home in my country, Nigeria, when I was growing up, and how I got started in business. So when I got to audience, I shared the story. And at the end of it all, I give one or two principles that helped me to move from point A to point B. And over time, I mastered it. Now I have my own subject matter and topic that I talk about, either business growth, sales, leadership, or personal development, depends on the audience that I'm talking to. In a week's time, I will be speaking at the International Women's Conference. And I have been asked to come and talk about the power of action. So I'm going to talk about stories of how I have taken action to improve my life and how I help my clients who knew what they want, but they never take action, and what they did by taking action and the results. So I'm going to go there and deliver and customize it to suit the audience.
It's fascinating as well. Whenever there's an international event going on, they phone you, don't they, FA, and say, "Can you come and talk with us?" And
Yeah.
they know that you are an expert at this. So, what's one piece of advice you wish every aspiring speaker knew?
Just believe in yourself. Believe in what you have to share with the world. Because that belief can make a lot of things happen. When you believe in yourself, you believe in the message, you believe in your story, you believe in the life principle you've learned over the years, just believe in yourself and just go out there and begin to share it with people. Make mistake, fail, keep failing and learning and perfecting it. At some points, you will stop failing and you just be a master at it. So just believe in yourself and jump out there, jump out, go out there, just speak to people, speak to more people, and speak to more people. Just get out it and get it done. Don't
And
wait to be perfect.
you've given us so much gold here in information. Where can people learn more about you and your work?
Yeah, I do a lot of online and offline training on public speaking success. So you could go to my YouTube channel, go to my website, or send me an email. I can invite you to some of my events. My email is info@efeohwofasa.com.
So thank you very much. And I know the audience love it whenever you're on.
Thank you, Martin.
So thank you very much for your time.
Always an honor and a privilege to be with you, Martin.
That's great. Cheers. Bye-bye for now.
Thank you now.